Good afternoon, everyone. Happy Thanksgiving, and welcome to episode number 25 of Playing with House Money on the Toilets to Titles Network. I am Ice. You can find me on Twitter at Iceman_1013. And this right here is my boy DJ Pru at PruBaby10. How are you doing today, my guy?
I'm doing good, man. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Happy holidays, and episode 25. And for it to fall on this is actually I like that. I didn't even really realize until today, so that's awesome.
Yeah. Quarter of a century, quarter of a way to 100. It's been crazy, right? Like we've been planning and prepping this thing for a lot longer than over a year now. But
I was gonna say it's episode 25 for the people. It's probably close to 50 for us, but yeah, it's been a long time coming. I think it's I think watching it, play back and grow organically, I'm really happy with it. I think 25 is just the start, and what better way to prove that than I don't know, a plus 1,500 anytime touchdown on Thursday Night Football by the man himself.
Yeah, I mean, we picked it. I said it last week, and we didn't just say this stuff. We do bet our own plays.
At least when I don't forget.
So what? And again, to show like the people, like I did say, like anytime touchdown, and if you followed the soccer stuff for a while, you know what I like when I play these guys straight. I kind of tend to, especially in games when it was Thursday Night Football, so it was the only game on. We're watching and following along with the game, so in those situations, I bet him first touchdown. When he didn't get first touchdown, now I get better odds on the anytime touchdown. And I had a live boost as well. It was 12, ended up being plus 12, over plus 1,200. I mean, we make our own luck, and tipped pass, or that happened to fall to him, that he took to the end zone, and then I mean, he gets marked down for the celebration, couldn't land the flip, but I'm not going to talk any shit because I can't.
Yeah, I mean, it was poetic. That's poetic. Like, that's one of those where usually when you call something like that, especially in the NFL this year, it's like you're so you're really riding with something, and then just he drops it or something like that. I mean, it's like a wide open drop touchdown. So it was awesome to see, especially because obviously I knew that you said it, that you took it, that you were. When I saw it in the doc last week, I was like, he's a little crazy, but it's the NFL is crazy. So plus 800 if you did take it pregame. He only needed 8 yards for his yardage line. That's
I wish I'd done the two. I wish I'd done the 25 and the TD together, like I'd said. That would have, but again, it would have been roughly the same. It would have been the plus 1,100 or something like that for the combined. I mean, I think that kicked us. That kicked the weekend off, but
right. And it's ironic that two of our most, the two that we kind of doubted a little bit from each other, you know what I mean, are the ones that hit nice and easy. Yep. We had the Bears Lions game went over basically exactly how I said it would, and then you have Arizona Houston had I want to say it was 30 at half, dude. It was a lot. And then they ended up scoring 6 points in the second half to finish. Yeah, it was 31 actually. It was 31, and they ended up finishing at I think 37. So that bombed. But yeah, it's funny that the two that we kind of looked at each other like, wait, what? Were the ones that just hit with ease. And then, dude, we had some calls last week. I'll stick to the two show ones for the people. We had Beck and Bowers on Georgia, over on the yardage and over on yardage and the touchdown for Bowers. And then Beck balled out. I didn't dissect too much Saturday. I was pretty tied up, so I might have missed a few, but Sunday we had a lot of good just straight calls. I was heavy on Rondale Moore. I was really heavy on Rondale Moore last week in the Discord. And then, 90 seconds into the game, 48-yard touchdown. Unfortunately, he finished with one catch for 48 yards and a touchdown, but His yardage line was only 32.5. I took the 40 plus and the touchdown. DJ Moore, 90 plus yards. I had his yardage line, I think it was 56.5 or something like that. It was hit with ease. 5 catches is all he needed. And then obviously he scored. He finished with 90 plus and a touchdown. So that was awesome. Calvin Ridley. I took a dart at Calvin Ridley and I thought I was bold. I had 70 plus yards. And then you one-upped me, or you upped me by a couple steps and went the 100 plus. Yeah. That hit with the touchdown. I mean, we had a lot of good calls last week, man. Even just straight bet value.
And that's the point. Like all of these things are plus money value. Like that you can take. Yes, we do the parlays and we say this. We've said this pretty often on the show about. We put all these outrageous lines together for this long shot, hope we hit big parlays, and we always come up like 1 or 2 short. And but that's why you play the ones like that straight, especially when it's plus money. And
I was just telling a buddy actually earlier. He had a crazy cat, like he hit a lotto. He's not a capper. He's not in Discord and stuff like that. He just enjoys gambling, and he's one of those guys that puts a couple bucks on a crazy lotto. He had a plus 52,000 last night, and he was telling me, I was like, dude, that's insane, great hit. I was appreciating the balls he hit, and then he was just like, yeah, man, I've been losing by 1 constantly, and I was like, yeah, that's we've been trying to keep it straights or 3-4 legs, something like that, and then you want to chase those with a couple bucks. Like you don't want to wait for those to cash, once a month, once every couple of weeks, stuff like that. If you could do them once every couple of weeks, 52,000, hey, more power to you. But yeah, it's the long game, man. And that's why I always tell a couple of the guys in the Discord that are a lot safer, like any of the stuff that you see me put together, I would tell you to take any of those legs straight. So yeah. Can't be mad at it. We didn't have any big ones, but can't be mad at it. And then, hey, basketball's back.
Yeah.
What an outing, huh? It's like the dynamic duo. I made a joke yesterday. I'm the gambling Charlie Ward. Going to Heisman in football, and then just go to the NBA. 6:33 hit on Tuesday,
which is
only play I posted. I played one play in my channel and cashed it. And shout out to the boy Pup. He was like, man, you guys aren't spamming the Discord with 100 plays like other places and stuff like that. I'm like, yeah, man, this is no gimmick.
No, and you had that plus. You again talking about the parlays. It was ended up being 1 rebound and 2 threes off of the plus 100,000. But again, like it was four games, 2 legs from each game. And if we go back to baseball season when you were doing a similar thing and you play it on DraftKings and you can round robin the same game parlays.
Yeah.
That's what I'm going to start look to do with the basketball, because I hit 3 out of 4 games, all plus money legs, as it would be for 8 legs for a plus 100,000.
Yeah.
Would have cashed a plus 2250 round robin.
So
and we were, and that was, so definitely with that kind of stuff, that's what we're saying. Like the lottos there, you could have played those 4 legs individually, hit plus money on each one. And then if you round robin by 2, great. If you round robin by 3, like I said, you hit, a plus 2250.
Right.
And we were, it was the Atlanta game, 300 points in the game. And Jalen Johnson went over his points line, flew over it, and didn't hit a single 3. And I took him for 2 threes because that was plus money. It was plus money leg. And I really didn't need to. I could have just taken the points for minus 110 and it would have still been plus 90,000.
Yeah, it's like my play with Maxi. It's like my play with Maxi.
But then I would have missed it by 1 rebound. And then I'd have been annoyed.
Yeah. Annoyed probably isn't the word. But
no, it's not.
Yeah, it's like Mac. I had a similar play just like that, only it obviously wasn't as many legs, but I could have went to 30-30-30 and had crazy odds. I caught his 30. I caught Maxi's 30 at like plus 940. I'm still sick about it today. So yeah, good week. Oh, and then shout out Shout out to the Slovenian soccer club, by the way.
Club Ljubljana.
Yes, sir. Hey, woke up Thursday morning, a little earlier than usual, and saw, hey, it's an upcoming game, a couple of them, and yeah, I ended up hitting a plus 273 on a 2-leg, both teams to score. Hit a plus 310 on a team total over, and that's it in one of those games, and then I hit a plus 1,000 draw on the game as well. That hit, it went 1-1 in the both teams to score, and it was just hilarious because, don't get me wrong, that doesn't usually happen.
And I will asterisk this with saying, don't do what Pru does.
Do not be like me.
Degenerates hit a bet the night before, so woke up with money in his account and went, oh, what's on I can bet at 9 a.m. in the morning.
Today's Friday. Today's Friday for everybody, and every day is Friday until Sunday now for the long weekends. So,
but yeah, I mean,
don't be like me.
They were crazy hits, and you get them once in a while. But I almost text you back this morning and said,
"You're an idiot."
But I miss being able to bet on those kind of leagues because there's insane value on them. But at the same time, I don't miss it because that, at a point that was me like on the train to work every day, 9 a.m. Get what games are going on across like Czechoslovakia, like Czech Republic, like these leagues that, you shouldn't, you say that don't bet on the college football kids. These guys are part-time. These guys are like us going and playing the game, and that's who you're betting on. So
yeah, I went to the two biggest lopsided odds games and then just found what I could. It was don't do what I did. I literally texted a couple of my buddies like, "You want to see some hilarious degenerate shit today?"
Yeah,
hey. So yeah, shout out to them.
But yeah, and everything that Pru's talking about, like it's in the Discord, playing with House Money Discord. Find the link on Twitter at PW_House Money. It's right there under Pru's name. It does also tell you that he is the live bet king. So he's just proved that. Jump in, use code November this weekend. If you want to jump in, like we said, we've got a lot of sport this weekend. Basketball, we've got multiple games on Thursday in the NFL. We've got a game on Friday. We then got college football on Saturday, along with
Friday and
Friday,
college, so.
Along with the return of league soccer in Europe, which is great, and the return of the MLS. We've got a couple of MLS games this weekend, so jump in the Discord. It's free this month if you use code November. It's only $10 a month after that, where you find all of the plays from this weekend. But if you're really interested in the football that we're just about to jump into, and you want to find any of that information, it's at toiletstotitles.com. You can jump into the Gilded chat. Lots of good stuff going on there. Obviously, we're coming to the real crunch time in the fantasy football season, and Frankenstank is coming to, we're hitting the playoffs almost, a week or so away from that. I don't think either me or you are going to make the playoffs, to be honest.
Injuries. I don't even want to talk about fantasy right now.
But yeah, if you want to jump in just for the end of this season, see how the playoffs go, ready for prepping next season, then absolutely do that. I would encourage you to do so. If you're watching us on YouTube, please like, subscribe, comment, post anything, any questions that you have. And like I say, find us on Twitter. And again, any questions, we're always happy to answer. But yeah, we said huge weekend of football. We'll have a brand new episode of Playing with House Money Presents the SGC that will go out tomorrow. So yeah, now we're going to focus on, we have big college football weekend. So what have you got for us?
It's that time of year where you start seeing those interstate rivalries, and I guess these days some of them aren't really rivalries. They just happen to be in the same state. So a lot of it's lopsided, but we got a few that we can find value. At least I did my research and as much digging as I could just to try to stay away from a lot of these team totals and touchdowns and stuff like that, because the matchups are pretty one-sided for the most part, at least in the games that I do like. Right out the gates, we got Texas Tech against Texas. And any college football fan knows, the type of play Texas Tech brings you. They just want to play as fast as possible. They give up a lot of points. Obviously, Texas has kind of struggled a little bit since that starting running back went down. But Quinn Evers is, obviously back, and I think it's going to be what we all expect. Evers over 1.5 passing touchdowns and over 277.5 yards are the two that I'm really looking at. Not great. I mean, obviously we're looking for, value and some things that we can really trust. So it's going to be low. They didn't have, I couldn't parlay them yet, but both of them were, I think the passing touchdowns was like minus 170, and then the 277 was minus 110. So I mean, I do like those. They'll probably be somewhere around 190, 200, something like that if we get lucky. Oregon State against Oregon. Obviously, Oregon is one of the best teams in the country. Oregon State is no pushover, though. It should be a pretty good one. But Bo Nix is playing out of his mind. He's playing Heisman type of football, and him for over 2.5 passing touchdowns it's minus 170. Obviously, 3 passing touchdowns in any football game is a little tough, but the way he's playing, the way that Oregon's kind of attacking everything, I think they will have to throw the ball a lot against that Oregon State defense. So I really do like that. Minus 170 isn't great, but I'll probably pair them with the LSU and Texas A&M leg that I liked, and that's over 20.5 points for LSU. Jane Daniels is playing unreal, especially the last couple weeks. So I really do think he's going to continue that. And Texas A&M obviously just fired Jimbo Fisher. It's a little bit of karma for him. Shout out to Florida State. Shouldn't have left, but hey, it is what it is. And yeah, I just don't think I don't think Jaden Daniels is going to slow down. I also don't think Texas A&M is going to be like fully sound. I know sometimes like the teams, when you fire a coach midseason, like they start to rally around each other. Texas A&M ain't really got that much of a roster to be fearful of, and LSU's hot. So I really like 20.5, even if it is, Texas A&M giving them a game. I do think they answer the call. So that's at minus 110. So I'll probably pair all 4, to be honest with you, just because why not? And as soon as they give me those 2 legs in the first one that can go together, I'll be sure to throw that in the Discord. But yeah.
Sounds good, bro. Sounds good. And then, yeah, I mean, right now, 12:30 Eastern time, 11:30 a.m. Central. It's not Thursday night football. We have Turkey Day football. Green Bay at Detroit. We got first of the triple header today. Yeah, Detroit just kind of. Yeah, we won't talk about the David Montgomery.
I put this hat on. I put this hat on purpose today. Let's not go there. But that's a snoozer because Green Bay is just they ain't all there. But there's some value.
Yeah,
they only have Amon-Ra St. Brown at 81.5 receiving yards. I don't know if you saw that, but that's a give me. So I love that. And then Monty is going to score. I think he's just a given every week. But yeah, first one out the gate.
And I did exactly what I did last week as well, and took Gibbs instead for the touchdown.
Hey, it worked out.
Hey, they're probably both going to score.
Yeah, worked out.
Yeah,
and of course it was after I said something. I was like, "Oh, the Gibbs touchdown makes me nervous," And then, hey, maybe I'll just do that again. I got you.
Yeah, thanks. And then middle of the day or middle of the 3, 4:30 Eastern, we have Washington Commanders going to Dallas. I mean, Dallas are playing the type of football I'm sure Cowboys fans would want them to play in the postseason.
We've seen this
before. They're playing it, playing it middle of the season. Dak's I think we said this last week. Dak was QB1 for like that 4-week stretch, end of October, beginning of November, and I don't think Washington playing well, but
it depends on which one you get. Are you going to get the Washington that showed up against Philadelphia, or are you going to get the Washington of last week?
Yeah, well, yeah. 19 points against the Giants. Look at 31 points. Old Tommy DeVito rocking up, and
I know the New York Italians had a field day last week, and I feel good for them. I'm happy for them on that. But Washington does usually play Dallas pretty well, I will say.
Yeah,
but losing those two linemen really do hurt them. So probably as expected.
Yeah, and I mean you've gone again like with CeeDee Lamb is just he's at the forefront of that. Dak being QB1 is one thing, but CeeDee Lamb is putting himself in the conversation. I think should have been up there as wide receiver 1 in the same conversation, at least as from a fantasy perspective, right?
I understand, but
and I know it's injuries to Justin Jefferson, like you can't do anything about that, but Jamar Chase not really done it.
Tyreek Hill is going to get them no matter what. But I will say, CD has all the traits. It's just he, sometimes he doesn't go out and get it. But the fact that his receiving line is still only at 88.5.
Yeah.
Come on. Like, what are we doing here? And then I took Jake Ferguson to score last week, and he didn't do anything. They gave it to Schoonmaker. So I'm going Jake Ferguson this week. That's I'm pretty sure it's plus 200. Love that. So,
and then I took Brian Robinson in that game for the touchdown.
Love that. That's one running back that hasn't gotten many yards this year, but he scores every week.
Yeah.
So,
and then we finish it off with Thursday night football, San Francisco at Seattle Seahawks.
And this had potential to be good. This had potential to be a good way to end the Thanksgiving, and obviously injuries kind of changed that. But yeah, I mean, San Fran they're either gonna beat themselves or run the table. So I don't expect them to let Seattle come in. I don't let Seattle beat them, especially in that division. But I also don't think it's going to be that close now that Walker's out and Seattle's been struggling. So I love Christian McCaffrey at 75.5 rushing yards, and George Kittle's on a tear actually.
Mm-hmm.
Brock Purdy's really, really using him a lot more than he used to, which obviously everybody used to question why. And his receiving line's only at 51.5 right now. So yeah, I love both of those. And then I think Debo scores only because it's Thanksgiving. I have no rhyme or reason as to why. Also, it's San Francisco. You could take anybody. So
yeah. But yeah, I think my four-leg is the Gibbs, Brian Robinson, CMC, and then Zach Charbonnet. Just because Walker's out.
Running back heavy. I love it.
Plus 1,500 for the 4.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Monty Ferguson and Debo came out to 795 for the 3-leg. So I'm not mad at that. I'm not taking 4 though. I'm definitely not taking multiple in the same game anymore after Jerick McKinnon got me. So
yeah. And then there's a couple of specials on FanDuel that I looked at as well that I like the look of. And one is CeeDee Lamb and Brandon Ayuk to combine for 250 plus receiving yards at plus 600. And I think CD could easily, we've said his line's at just under 90. He should, everyone expecting him to probably go over 100.
Yeah.
And Ayuk, again, same thing. Like Brock Purdy has been big on, throwing to him downfield. So if he can get, a couple of early catches, that's definitely doable. But the big one that I might go for is just all 6 teams to score 1 passing and 1 rushing touchdown at plus 5,000.
Don't forget one of those teams have Jordan Love.
Well, yeah, that's if it makes it through game 1, I quite like it. if it makes it through game 1. But that's why it's plus 5,000,
Yeah.
I
feel like 5,000 is like FanDuel could have even been a little more generous with Washington. Washington facing Dallas and then Green Bay facing Detroit. But obviously, you don't see many shutouts and you don't see many just 7-point performances either, unless it's like, the Jets and the Giants in most weeks. But I do like that. I would not doubt it having a very good chance, especially if it makes it through game one. So yeah, I might mess around with that with you.
Yeah. And then we have a Friday afternoon game. So Miami in New York.
Yeah,
against the Jets.
Zach Wilson on a Friday night. That's just
we don't. Amazing. He's out, right? They've benched him.
Oh, did they officially bench him for real?
Yeah.
I mean, Robert Saleh could only call him out like so many times to the media. It was only a matter of time. So
yeah. So we get Tim Boyle, I believe, is stepping in as QB1.
Nice
for us.
Nice
for the New York Jets. So I mean, Miami by.
He came in late in the last game. He didn't look half bad, but yeah, obviously that's Miami by 1 million. I don't even. You can pick any prop. I'm going to agree with it. Besides maybe Jalen Waddle receptions. That's been a killer for me this year. But yeah, I don't think Sauce Gardner stops Tyreek Hill. I don't think anybody stops Tyreek Hill.
That season long prop I talked about isn't looking terrible.
Yeah, you're damn right it ain't. Like offensive player of the year. And he's gonna coast. He's gonna coast to that yardage line. Nobody's stopping him. And I don't think the running game in Miami is gonna be as good as it usually is, like once they get rolling in the passing game. But I think Mike McDaniels also knows that, not to attack those tackles, and I think he's gonna spread that defense out a lot. So Miami by 1 million.
The interesting one the only thing I'm going to play in this game is Braxton Berrios touchdown.
Nice.
Revenge,
I love it.
Revenge game. He's going back to New York. He was in New York for a couple of seasons.
Yep.
Was to be perfectly honest, from obviously I live in New York. One of my best friends here is a big Jets fan, and I was talking to back where end of last season, and Berrios was one of their better players.
Love him. Yeah, they love him. Yeah, he plays hard, but he went to Miami, so he has character flaws and bad decision making, but he's electric. Yeah. He's a very big playmaker. He had a couple punt returns from them last year, I want to say, or kickoff returns. He was loved.
So he really was. So I think that's the angle that I'm going to play there in that game. And the other one that I just want to call out, and I'm not playing, I might play it, but just Jeremy Ruckert, the Jets tight end. When Tim Boyle came into the game, he got 3 catches of his 7 completions. So he's
the
just
only guy they have chemistry with.
Yeah. So because they've been playing off in the third string practice together.
They're on scout team together, getting killed.
Yeah. So I mean, doesn't mean anything, but he's going to be huge odds to score a touchdown. Just something to keep me interested in that game. Yeah,
that's a really fun dart.
And then on to Sunday football. We get some games here where I think I read online. I know you don't believe everything that you read online on social media, but that said something along the lines of some of these games that we have on Sunday are combined, like it's like the combined lowest props for scoring, because you've got Patriots at Giants, the line's at 34.5. Steelers at Bengals is plus 35 over 35.5 is the line. You've got Cleveland at Denver, 35.5 is the line.
Jeez.
And you have the Panthers at the Titans, the line is 37. So like those 4 games, I think they are like combined for like the lowest. Like if you took the bottom 4 combined team total points matchups for any Sunday game in the last, however many years.
Since like Johnny Unitas was playing.
Yeah, like this is like the lowest combined. So I was looking at them and I was like, there's a couple of them that I don't think, but that's just very low for a game that, I mean, the Giants and the Patriots, like the Giants just put up 31 themselves.
I will say if it were to be one, it would probably be that. But I could very easily see New England's defense shutting that down. Saquon ran a lot more rampant than I thought he would. But
for sure.
I think that Denver-Cleveland game is that's tough. Those two defenses are very good. Yeah, man, I don't know, but it is funny that you mentioned that Carolina game because I do have something that I liked from that game. So
go on. What was it?
Carolina over 13.5 points is minus what was it? Was it 162? 13.5 points minus 162. I'm gonna keep it real with you. I think that has to happen with Bryce. He's put up 10 to 13 points on good teams. So I just think this is probably going to be the week that he can at least get, a touchdown himself. If they can run the ball a little better this week, I think it definitely has potential. And then while I'm there, Jaylen Warren is playing out of his mind right now. Might be time to, make that switch. Najee is, he's looking like Eddie Lacy right now. I don't know. But Jaylen Warren to score one touchdown is plus 200. And then, obviously the Saints hate Alvin Kamara, and it's never going to change. They'll let him get 12 catches a game. They do not care if they do not care. If he's going to get a chance at a touchdown, it better be getting thrown from Taysom Hill. So what I went ahead and did was I took Taysom Hill for the anytime touchdown at plus 175. And you know how we like numbers that make sense and patterns and stuff like that. The 3-leg came out to 1234. So 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, and I've taking the games that you've just talked about, and one of them you just kind of knocked on the head. But we saw Matt Canada get fired this week as offensive coordinator from the Pittsburgh Steelers. You've taken Jalen. Yeah, well, if you asked some, probably a couple of years too late. But you took Jaylen Warren for the touchdown, which I like. I completely agree. It probably is, that changing of the guard might happen with, the fact that they're going to get a new offensive coordinator. But again, it's a low scoring, the points totals are going to be low for these games because the overall totals are low. So that's where I was kind of looking, and similar to your Carolina one, I didn't even go there. But again, I feel like both of those teams are going to be on the field. Like the defenses are going to be what has to stand up. And, like I said, I just want a rejuvenated Steelers offense, kind of what you talked about with the firing of a coach. And then it's like, oh, hey guys, like someone new's coming in, like now's the time for us to show up and show out. And again, a similar thing. I know these players look at social media. I know, like in this day and age, it's very difficult not to. But when you're coming through the rank, you definitely shouldn't. You shouldn't pay attention, because people just like to talk shit on social media that have never played the game. Case in point.
Never mind. I was gonna say me. I love to talk shit. But yeah, are you gonna say that Kenny Pickett is gonna go off now?
Well, people all over Twitter last weekend talking about Tommy DeVito having now more two touchdown passing games in his 2 starts than Kenny Pickett has had in his career. So he's seen that, right? He knows that stat. He knows that he's, if you're not going to do it now, when are you going to do it? Are you ever going to do it? Yeah. But I don't even need him to get 2. I need Jaylen Warren to get 1.
Right.
Like you said,
and then TJ Watt
for another.
TJ Watt will get the other one. Jaylen Warren, you're good.
Yeah, but yeah, they're Steelers are over 17.5 points. I did the same with the Broncos because although that they are 2 good defensive teams, the Browns and the Broncos, I just feel like Russ is actually to a point, like he's actually becoming a little bit consistent.
Yeah.
I've kind of liked Cortland Sutton a bunch this year. You know, his price is huge. I showed you one from Monday Night Football when I took Dobbs and Sutton, and then absolutely just instead of taking the anytime touchdown pairing, did what I tell everyone not to do, and just put their rushing and receiving lines at stupidly high. But yeah, they're at the same 17.5 points, and I feel like with DTR is going to be the quarterback for the Browns. I feel like,
and I said the same thing about Pittsburgh last week, and then they literally got destroyed. But definitely different game. Denver's playing very well, very sound.
Yeah, and then the kind of the two that I feel a little bit more confident about is just that Jacksonville-Houston game. The line's at 48.5, and that, you know, we've seen a lot of Houston games recently go way over. They're over
last week.
Yeah, so I like the Jags to score 24.5. Over 24.5 is their line. I really probably will take Travis Etienne to score a touchdown after he got Trevor Lawrence ran for 2 last week. I feel like they give one back to him.
I have him on 2 teams. But dude, 30-some, they had like 34 points, 36 points. We're not talking fantasy. We're in the future now.
Well, no, because it's similar thing to me. In Frankenstein, I played against Vinny, and he had Trevor Lawrence at quarterback, and I have Travis Etienne at running back, and that basically killed me. If either one of those had gone to Etienne, I'd have probably won the game.
And I misspoke. It was Houston that put up 30 2 weeks now. Only 21 against Arizona. I think Stroud bounces back. So I do agree with that. It's going to be a very good shootout.
And then I think the Chiefs bounce back in Las Vegas, divisional game. 26.5 points.
I mean, you say bounce back, it's really it's just 2 teams going at it, you know. If they don't dog walk the Raiders, it's going to be an issue. That's when you start like, hold on, let's reel this in real quick. Granted,
I mean,
Mahomes' receiving core is not helping him, but that's a whole different story.
Yeah, that's a whole different story, but it's not been any different for a while.
Call me. Yeah. Andy, call me. I'll do HGH, bro. I get the weight on quick. We good. Let's get it.
But yeah, we've got, so that's Steelers, Broncos, Jags, and Chiefs team totals, what they are. So it's 18 points for the Broncos and the Steelers, 25 for the Jags, 27 for the Chiefs, plus 12.50.
Love it.
And that's where we're going on Sunday. And like I said, once we get some more lines out, there'll be much more in the Discord. There'll be much more on Twitter at PW_housemoney. Like I said, the link's on the Discord. Follow us at PruBaby10, at Iceman_1013.
And don't miss the damn SGC. I'm going to come here next week and I'm going to say that again. Hey, get there.
Yeah. Don't miss it. New episode tomorrow. Thanks everyone for joining us. Enjoy your holiday weekend. Hope it's a good one. Let's hope we win some bets. And like I said, if you got any questions about anything over the weekend, give us a shout. Like, drop your questions in the comment section. Hit us up on Twitter. And good luck and Godspeed. And we'll see you next Thursday when we're playing with more house money.
Yes, sir.